Hi everyone, and welcome to the launch of Fully Human, a new educational think tank developed out of the PSHE Association.
Some of you might be wondering what Fully Human is. So I thought I'd take a few moments to explain both sort of where it's come from, what it's about, what our ambitions are, and why we have opened with an exploration of online pornography. Providing an education which is fit and relevant for the young people in our classrooms now requires an awareness of and an openness to the lived experiences of children and young people now, as well as the dynamics of the wider world within which they're growing up. It is a world that is not getting any less complex. A world in which technology occupies strange power and place in our daily lives. A world in which nature itself is rebelling against our assumed authority. The questions we need to ask about mainstream online porn are not about sex, they're about money, and manipulation, technology, and the pursuit of profit. It has parallels with other areas of media literacy where we need to be talking about power, how technology, power and politics are embedded in technologies, and that applies to pornography.
The story of porn seems to boil down to one in which millions of people are shaped to another's ends, and in the process they and others are led away for their potential for meaningful relational life. It's a story in which people quietly, little by little, become less valued, less connected, less loved. It's a story about some people's power and other people's pain, loss, and isolation. The way in which the manipulation is working is that people may lose sight of what's been dubbed their shadow self, so the person that they would have been without the manipulation. And it can be quite difficult to compare how my relationship is compared to how it would have been.
I thought it was a totally brilliant report. It's really brilliantly well written, as well as having really fascinating insights in it. We know that porn objectifies people. We know that porn projects damaging images of how sex should be often to young people who don't have a lot of experience of it. But my concern is always about the broader sense of how this is going to affect our empathy on a day-to-day level when we are used to seeing relationships where the pleasure of only one party matters. And the idea that something is inherently human as how we relate to each other in our most intimate moments as human beings is being hacked by those algorithms, by AI, and manipulated. They're reflecting back to us what they think we want, but they're actually shaping our desires to meet their needs, their interests, the interests of the porn industry, which of course is about us spending money.
Most people, most teachers, most schools are much more comfortable about talking about what bad sex is, it's unsafe, it's non-consenting, it's abusive, it's illegal, than they are about exploring what good sex might look like. So there's a kind of vacuum.
Even if you're ambiguous about the wider debate, then I think that we can come together in terms of seeking accountability for these big online free porn platforms that so far have touched so many of our lives, but yet have had almost no scrutiny from either regulators or government. So moving forward, it would be really, really nice to see more technological solutions to protect young people from online porn abuse, but also, and I think that the panel and the chat were reflecting this, we need to think much more about education and about how we deal with this particular issue.